Welcome to Writing the Wrong Things. I'm your host, Alex Hill. Today we're doing weeb shit. About a week and a half ago, what was, in my opinion, the best show of the spring 2020 season for anime came to an end. That show being Kaguya-sama, Love is War. What seems like an unassuming rom-com at first actually is probably one of my favorite examples of a character-driven story. For those who haven't watched it, which I don't know why you haven't, it's very much bingeable within a day, including the manga. Kaguya-sama Love is War is about Kaguya Shinomiya, a genius whose pride turns her into an absolute moron when it comes to dealing with her high school crush, and Miyuki Shirogane, who turns into an absolute idiot whenever it comes to dealing with his high school crush. By happenstance, their high school crushes appear to be each other, which it's essentially the epitome of a tsundere and a tsundere trying to go out with each other, which if you have any idea what the hell a tsundere is, you know that chances are slim to impossible of that working out. But while the show can be praised for many things like its animation, its comedy, or its voice acting, this is a writing channel, so I want to focus on what I learned as a novelist from it. I feel like Love is War, more than anything, has really simplified the concept of multi-dimensional characters in a way that at least I can understand, where I really couldn't before. Of course, this video has spoilers for Love is War Seasons 1 and 2, and also some manga spoilers, so, you know, go watch and read it. It takes a day. I don't know about all of you, but when it came to trying to understand what the hell a multi-dimensional character is, I was always under the impression that it was sort of this enigma that people tried to get to, but wasn't really feasible or comprehensible in any circumstance. I was wrong, though. Kaguya-sama Love is War, as a story, more or less completely relies on its characters to do all the heavy lifting. The two leads especially have to be portrayed well, and not only do they manage to do that, but they also manage to create an entire supporting cast full of multi-dimensional characters. People like multi-dimensional characters because they're interesting, but I never really got the chance to ask myself, why do people like multi-dimensional characters? After finishing Love is War, I got my answer to that question. That being the reason why anyone is interested in a story in the first place, and that is conflict. The thing that makes a character-driven story interesting isn't necessarily interactions between characters, but interactions within characters. I want to bring up one scene in particular from early season 2 of Love is War. For context, Kaguya spent the entire episode wanting to celebrate Shirogane's birthday and preparing to do so. But at the last minute, she starts doubting herself and thinks about chickening out. The way Kaguya solves this dilemma is portrayed in a really interesting way in the form of a courtroom where her personalities are given form and allowed to argue with each other out in the open. First, you have her good-natured, kind of stupid but earnest side, which I'm just going to refer to as the moron, as I kind of view that as her id. And that personality is the driving force behind her wanting to celebrate Shirogane's birthday. And then on the other hand, you have Ice Queen Kaguya, who is sort of a reaction to the strict and ruthless environment that she was brought up in. But even this sliver of her personality has different shards to it. Ice Queen Kaguya has a conflict between her obligation to protect Kaguya from getting hurt and her own desire to be with Shirogane. In the accused position is Kaguya as she presents herself to the world. Though this part of her really works more as a mask of pleasantries, it's still a combination of her Ice Queen self and her moronic self. And even though she's born from those two personalities, she still creates conflict within the three of them. And one might think that that mask is her ego, which is very understandable, but her ego is actually in the judge's position and is aptly represented as a child, as she's only really worked on developing her masks and not her actual self. And all that is just one character. Miyuki Shirogane shows that he has aspects of an altruistic hero, a ruthless tactician, the confidence of a self-made man, and a coward too concerned with what other people think of him. Fujiwara appears to be an idiot at first, which she kind of is, but she's also a schemer on par with the two leads, someone with enough humility to see through their mind games, a shameless liar, and honest to a fault. Ishigami, also known as Best Boy and Best Girl, is a sulking coward and a creepy loner, but he also has this sense of righteousness, humility, and self-awareness that don't really seem to fit with the other two, but it still works. I think the biggest thing to take away from all this is that we as people embody our masks. Some of us more than we'd like to admit, but nevertheless those masks are still genuinely part of us. And if we do it, that means good characters do it as well. In my case, I've tried too hard to force my characters to be all their dimensions all at the same time, but that's really not how that works. Sometimes people reveal the best parts of themselves, and other times those parts appear to be completely absent, depending on the circumstances. I think each of these aspects should be treated as a separate personality, but what separates it from schizophrenia is that all these personalities, even though they're all different, are still undeniably part of the individual that they were born from. For example, Ice Queen Kaguya is just as much Kaguya as Moron Kaguya is. I think what makes a multidimensional character is I think what really makes a character is your ability to show off those different personalities and showcase how they clash with each other and how they come to a resolution. But for all I know, I've just stumbled upon a really obvious part of common knowledge that the writer community has known about for ages, and I'm just an idiot. But if there was anything you thought I missed or anything you'd like to add, please leave it down below in the comments. I'd love to hear other perspectives on this. Like the video, subscribe, all that. I kind of want to do more content like this because I think that anime provides a window of opportunity for novelists to learn more about writing, though we don't really take advantage of that, or at least to my knowledge. So hopefully I'll do more of that. Watch some more videos if you want, but once you stop giving me views, go write your book.